Welcome to the Life and Times podcast. Sit back, enjoy the conversation, enjoy the vibes, and thank you for checking us out. Nah, what's going on, Sims?
Not much. Just enjoying a lovely day in the city of Atlanta. How things going with you?
Can't complain, bro. Just trying to stay busy and making things happen.
Shake. That's what we do, you know?
True that. All right, so listeners, welcome to the Life and Times podcast. I'm your host, Adrian, and you already know it's no BS coming from me. My esteemed guest this week is a talented young man. Always representing the great state of New York. Always repping. Am I gonna call you Brian? Am I calling you your last name? What you want me to call you?
I tell people all the time lately, my name is Brian Sims. You can call me either or Brian or Sims because I'm called both. It is what it is.
Word. Follow him online. You see it, Nick Fury 187. Real good guy, real good people. All right, so we're gonna start off this podcast, Sims, with one thing that both of us enjoy doing. Drinking.
Oh, yes.
That amongst other things.
Absolutely.
But my question to you, my friend, is what are you drinking?
Well, what I brought for this lovely occasion today, I'm drinking a little scotch. A bottle of 2009 and Daft Mill. For those of you who have never heard of it, like I had not heard of it a few months ago.
You classless heathens.
When I acquired this bottle. This bottle was actually given to me by mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, industry type stuff. And I got the wrong delivery and I held onto it and no one came and got it. So I'll leave it at that. But it's a very smooth scotch. It's distilled 2009, bottled in 2020. Matured for 11 years in oak barrels. Very smooth, something different. And I break it out on special occasions because I had 2 bottles. So
Nice. So I'm more than honored to share that with you, my friend. Man, I'm a country boy, man. I'm doing
some good old
Tropicalia. Tropicalia, which is the perfect drinking beer here in Atlanta. Actually, it's from Athens, Creature Comforts. Great flavor, floral. It's perfect tailgating beer for me. So
crisp, not too heavy,
Yeah, if you know me, I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan, and every weekend that's a staple. Whether if it's a tailgate or at the crib, or if I'm at a bar, I'm drinking Tropicalia on game day. So that's what we're drinking. All right, so also I got my koozie. My
David Bowie.
David Bowie.
Okay.
Yeah, my David Bowie koozie, which has gotten me into plenty of trouble.
Why trouble? Everyone should love David Bowie.
That's part of the trouble, man. Everyone does love David Bowie.
Probably trying to get that koozie.
That amongst just random weird ass conversations. So speaking of random weird ass questions, hopefully we get one going. Cheers to you, my friend. Cheers and many blessings and all that good stuff. And toast to the listeners, because once again, you're listening to the Life and Times podcast. All right, so Sims, let's talk about. I got a couple questions. We're gonna set the table so any new listeners or people being introduced to you have a better idea of who you are and what makes you tick. So, first question. Growing up, what was your perception of hospitality workers?
So, I wouldn't say I'll put it to you like this. Growing up, we didn't go out as much as I do, you do, we do nowadays in this day and age. Growing up, we went out once, two times a year. Maybe it was for special occasions, maybe the parents' anniversary, some sort of birthday. In New York, we would go out to like City Island or someplace in Manhattan, someplace nice. And I always looked at it. It depended on where you were at. You know what I'm saying? Because if we went to just like
Mm-hmm.
a BS place, and I might have looked at it like, all right, I feel like we're in Mel's Diner. But then, like, we go someplace fancy for a celebration, and potentially I look at the servers, the people working there is kind of like, okay, this is fancy. This is so. I think I've always been able to have enough knowledge about where we were and the type of clientele and place space we were in. So I never looked, I think I always took it as, depending on where we were. I also was able to, tell the difference between if we were in a place like a Waffle House, like, hey, you might,
Hey,
you know,
shout out to our Waffle
oh yeah,
House wait staff and cooks, because you got to be a different breed to do that long
they hold it
term,
down and people don't give them enough credit or
man.
respect. So,
Right.
um, but my perception was never anything too harsh or too bad. Um, I'll be 100% honest. It wasn't something that I thought I would ever venture into, nor did I think I
Mm-hmm.
would ever still be in it. And here we are. So,
You, you are a lifer.
not expectedly.
I don't think any of us really ever expect to be restaurant lifers, but that's the beauty of
Oh
it.
yeah.
All right, so what was your first job in hospitality?
So when people ask, I always say that I've been in this industry for, I mean, I have been in this industry for 20 plus years, but
Mm-hmm.
I also like, do you look at retail as hospitality? Like to a degree, I look at it as hospitality because, you're being hospitable. These people are coming in.
Right.
I put it to you like this. My very first job that I consider hospitality, even though it wasn't a restaurant, I worked at Target. My first 2 years
Okay.
moving there from New York, I worked at Target on Austell Road in Marietta, Smyrna.
Mm,
It's no longer there. It's some sort of building.
right.
The
Right.
building is there, but it's not Target now. They moved to the East-West Connector. But that was my
Mm-hmm.
very first job in somewhat hospitality. Shortly after that, I went to serve at a restaurant called Folks. It used to be called Po Folks, for those of you who remember.
I remember,
Yeah, when
folks.
I was there, it was Folks Southern Kitchen, but when I first moved down here, it was still Po Folks. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my first service job, service industry job, and I was a server. I knew someone else that was working there. Someone we both know actually. They were
Okay.
working there, and then I jumped on because I knew how much money they were making, and I was like, let
Mm-hmm.
me give it a shot, and that was the first job, and that took me down the devil's path.
Mm.
So,
Once you get that
a
little
little
taste
taste.
of,
That's all you
man,
need.
how much money am I making by just being nice to
Because
people?
you got to think, I was working at Target, and I'll never forget, I was making like 5.25 an hour. I'm old, y'all. I'm old. So I was making like 5.25 an hour, and then I saw what they were making serving, and like a good double it gets you about buck 50. So I was like,
Right. Right.
buck 50 one day?
It's
Not
up.
even, like I was like, I'm here. So that's what got me sucked in.
Okay. Okay. Do you think everyone should have at least one job in the hospitality industry? And more importantly, why?
Absolutely. Um, I think it's to a degree, it's akin to going to school. And when I say that, it's like, we want all our kids to, yeah, some people want to homeschool their kids to a degree. I wouldn't mind homeschooling my kid, but then also you don't get that diversity. You don't get that edge. You don't get that everyday dealing with different people that I think helps build character and helps people grow and learn how to navigate through a lot of situations in life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so with that being said, I feel like serving is very similar. It's almost like school for adults, but not college, if that makes any sense. You deal with a lot of
Facts.
situations, you deal with a lot of different people, a lot of different scenarios, and you got to learn how to navigate through those. Some people get it, some people don't, but it's a great way for you to learn a lot of things that you'll learn moving forward in life, or you'll learn a lot of things you can use moving forward in life. So
Facts. I mean, it's definitely it's definitely one of those experiences of testing out different personalities. Like everyone's not for you, but when you are in hospitality, at least on the service end, like most of us started out, it's that moment of humility that, you know, that has to click. Like, I know maybe it's an arrogant statement, but there were times my first restaurant job, in my head, I'm like, I know I'm more intelligent than this person. I'm probably making more money than this person, but I'm here to take care of them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think that's one of those little breaking points of whether or not you're cut out for that, because it's a lot of humility that's required, but also it's a level of charisma. Like, you got to be confident in yourself to be able to sell yourself to people, because again, you're not for everyone, but when you're in that industry, you gotta at least damn try to put on the face to be for everybody.
I
So
tell people, especially like my staff now, I've been telling people this for 15 years. I'm like, yo, I hate people. And when I say that, yes, I'm a
facts,
people person. I'm able to
facts.
adapt. I'm able to, navigate through a lot of situations and scenarios dealing with people. But people get on my damn nerves. And some of the things that they do get on my damn nerves. But this is what I do. And I think I'm pretty damn good at what I do. So with that being said, you gotta flip the switch. And
Fact.
I say that a lot too, because you get a lot of people that they might be from whatever hood, they might be from whatever side of town, and it's like, but when you come to work, you got a job to do, and your job is that. It's in the word hospitality. You got to be hospitable, and if you
Right.
can't do that, then you may need to be a telemarketer. You may need to do something where you're not face to face with people all the time, because you being hospitable, that's what we do. It's at the core of what we do. And these people, are paying our bills. They're keeping us afloat in so many ways. So no matter who they are, and
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand that. Sometimes they'll look at certain people and think, oh, this person has that and this person doesn't have that. But it's not about that. It's about, how you handle the situation and do your job and take care of those people by being hospitable. So
And then also, we we have to at least speak on, when it comes to those different
mhm,
personalities, your coworkers,
mhm.
because everyone's gonna wake up a different
Oh
way
yeah.
on a
Oh yeah.
Monday. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, again, it's that level of humility that you're like, yo, I come in, I wake up, I'm fresh and ready to rock and roll, but my man's right here. He had a long night last
Mhm.
night, and we're gonna have to
Yeah.
interact. Or the head chef, maybe he really had a long
Yeah.
night. You know
Yeah.
that. I mean, we've both been in the industry long enough, and you gotta deal with those
Yeah.
attitudes. So it's not just about the customers, but it's definitely dealing with your coworkers and trying to coexist so that everybody can
Yeah.
thrive. You
I
know.
think in an
So
ideal world, I tell people all the time when I say you got to flip the switch, it's just having that energy. I know not everyone is me. I know not everyone's the same, but I'm also big on energy, positive and negative, and I think they're both contagious. So, one of the things I try to preach and harp on, I'm like, yo, have that energy, if not just for yourself, but for your squad, for your team, because if you come in negative Nancy, then guess what? It's gonna start to rub off, and everybody in
it's
the
gonna
house is
affect
just gonna be,
everyone.
yeah. But if you come in with that positive energy, you might get on some people's nerves, but they can't help but just, start to slowly that trickle down effect, and they start to feel it. They like, all right, you get on my damn nerve, but I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, y'all gonna need some energy for the summer on the roof, cause
we working on it.
I I'll be up
Yes, you
there.
should. We're working on it.
I will be I will be pulling
My
up. I don't know if Miss Mitchell will be joining me, but Nah, she's coming. She's
It's a
coming.
vibe.
She's
Y'all can
definitely
both go
coming.
up there. My lady, she comes up and she'll post up. She'll whether she's working because she gets to work, mobile a lot. So whether she can post up in the lounge and do her work, or she could post up on the lounge chair and have a little sip while she's doing work. It's a vibe. It's not just
Yeah,
all. It's a fun vibe. It's party, but also you come up there in the middle of the day and hang out and just relax too. So it's chill.
right. Now I told now, we have mutual former coworkers, friends, that sort of thing. We have a lot of inter connecting social circles. So one of those people in particular, I told him, you know, I was online like caping for y'all, like I work for y'all still, man. He was like, what you mean? I was like, man, it was a lady on AMP
Hmm.
and she was just dragging y'all like it was brutal. And I had to jump on there and at least just ask her a few
Right.
questions because the thing was like she was on a date.
Okay.
This was her first date there. And she pretty much, it seemed like she was gonna start her conversation just talking about how shitty the date
Yeah.
was. But it quickly transformed to how awful this whole concept was of being on the roof. The restaurant was overrated, whoop de, all of
Yeah.
this. So I jump on there and I'm like, yo, tell us more about your date. Like tell me more about the guy who asked you out. So she starts to tell more and more. And the more and more she's talking, the more and more it's apparent that, yo, this dude was a
Yeah.
goof, man.
The
Like
issue wasn't the
he
venue. The
clearly,
issue was the date.
yeah, he clearly affected the whole vibe of everything. So, she once she realized that, she was like, man, maybe you're right. Maybe you should take me up there. I was like, I'm married, baby. I'm just trying
Just trying
to
to get to the bottom of
bring
what's going on right
positivity.
here.
Exactly. So, all right, cool. So those were our set questions. So now the listeners know more about Brian and know what makes him tick. So now, Brian, we got a little topic that I know both of us are interested
Dun,
in.
dun, dun, dun.
Comic book movies. Comic book movies. Now, both of us, I know this for a fact, both of us grew up as comic book
Mhm.
fans. And it was darn near life changing when X-Men was announced as a movie.
Mhm.
Like I was like, this is the craziest thing ever
X-Men,
that they're making
Spider-Man.
this a movie.
Yep.
Right. And even prior to that, you got Superman, of
Hmm.
course. And you got plenty of examples of comic book movies. So my first question to you, man, like what makes a great comic book movie?
I think there's a lot that could make a great comic book movie because there's so many different
Mm-hmm.
types of comic movies. I feel like it's weird because in the comics, in the actual books, I feel like the DC comics have always been more gritty and I won't say realistic, but they touched on a lot of realistic things and topics. And the Marvel
Mm-hmm.
comics have always been kind of campy, but extra superhero-y and unrealistic, but it is what it is. And then I feel like when the movies came out, it was kind of the opposite, if that makes any sense. Now, DC, the Snyderverse, they kind of was still on that gritty, whatever, whatever, but I feel like Marvel's done a great job of in the MCU. Yeah,
Balancing it, right?
because I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like you got to think when Singer's X-Men came out, they had the dark suits. So, you're like, how can Wolverine rock the yellow suit or the brown suit?
Right.
The actual comic accurate suits. And then they went to black leather. All right, I get it. Marvel and the MCU has done a great job, and DC as well in certain ways. They've done a great job
Mm-hmm.
of like, you know, doing the accurate costumes, but also dumbing down the colors a little bit, so it's not like bright red or bright blue, but still like Hawkeye is able to rock a purple suit, and it's still, it doesn't look too
And it's not
crazy,
looking
right?
crazy. It's not looking
At all.
crazy,
So,
right?
I think they've done a great job of putting the things on screen that we want to see. What makes a great movie is the balance. You know, it's balance. I think for the funny characters like a Deadpool and a Spider-Man, like having
Mm-hmm.
that comedic aspect to it. Um, but also on the gritty ones, like when you watch Logan, like having a little bit of comedy, but still like gritty, what you want to see out of an actual Wolverine movie. Like Logan, out of everything that Hugh Jackman's been in comic wise, Logan was probably it. And
Man,
I don't think there's too
that
many
shit was,
arguments. Yeah, like Logan was it.
yeah.
Logan was tough. And I'm excited to see what he's gonna do with him and Deadpool too. So
Mm.
because of course Deadpool's comedy, so it's going to be that side of it, but it's going to be gritty too. And of course, Kevin Feige, he ain't stupid, so he's gonna take a little bit of what that serious tone, but also
He low key
he
stupid,
low
but
key
I'm
stupid
not gonna.
because this
He a little
this
stupid.
phase right now we in is kind of stupid, but we're gonna get through it. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, no
but I
doubt.
think just balance. You got to hit all points. You got to hit the accuracy of the comics. You got to give a little fan service. If you hit
Hmm.
all those, then you've done a good job, I think.
So my, I'm asking that because, in your honest opinion, what's the greatest? What's the greatest comic book film?
Greatest. When you say greatest, you mean overall accuracy to just greatest.
I'm asking you.
I, I was. It's one of the. It's either. There's so many. But
Nah,
if
you
I had
got to
to
pick
pick
one.
one right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Infinity War.
Mm,
Now, there's others that I love and like for so many other reasons. I still to this day will say the Watchmen movie is the most comic accurate movie that I
oh,
think.
for sure.
Just
Panel for
get
panel.
panel for panel. People don't understand that. Like when I tell people, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, you can look at the book and look at the movie like that, except for the ending, of course, because they
It's
flipped
right
it.
there.
But it's
Right.
right there. But when it comes to the best, I probably have to say Infinity War. Just the highs and lows, people dying and like Thor coming back, like that was it as of right
Mm-hmm.
now. They changed though. They change and I'm big on the MCU, but they change every time a better one comes out. But I think since
Mm-hmm.
that and Endgame came out, I haven't had one that's like, yo, that's my new favorite movie. That's my new favorite Marvel, so
Right.
or
Right.
comic movie.
My pick,
Hmm.
Logan.
Hmm.
I love Logan, man. I love that movie. It's a perfect film for me in the sense that you don't even have to be a comic
Yeah,
book fan to actually dig
yeah,
it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's my
I'm
favorite.
trying to get my lady to
Definitely.
watch it because I told her it's a great one. We'll see if I can get that to work. Maybe on the next one we'll talk about it.
Word, word, word. Um, man, we've been talking about it. I think we're both more leaning toward MCU than what DC has been giving
Hmm.
us. Even though, hey, James Gunn, we're holding out hope for you, my brother. We holding
We'll
out
see.
hope. I'm holding out
I don't
hope.
think he should have got rid
Uh,
of Henry Cavill, but what else?
yeah, yeah,
That,
but
but the
yeah.
Flash trailer looks dope, so we will see. I
Hmm.
mean,
Though as problematic as
well,
going to that film is gonna be, I'm I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy sitting in that film. I don't
why was it
care. I
problematic
don't
going to
care.
see it though?
Man, Ezra a nasty
He is,
dude,
but I
man.
mean, so is,
He a nasty
we ain't gonna
dude.
talk about Jonathan Majors either,
Hey,
but
hey, hey,
yeah,
hey, 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 hey.
I'm just saying.
We gon' we gonna let up on Kang. Cause all this stuff is alleged right now.
Oh man.
But all right, so we talking about the MCU, man. Like a lot of fans, myself included, has said, man, the MCU, this phase, this current phase or the past phase, post Endgame,
Yeah,
it's been kind of
a little
mid.
janky.
Do you agree with that
Absolutely.
or
Um, I'm
okay?
liking the TV shows, and
Okay.
I'm liking
That's probably my bright
yeah,
point. That's probably my bright
yeah.
spot of the MCU right now, are those Disney
Like
Plus
Loki was
shows.
dope. Hawkeye was cool for
Yeah.
what it was. Um,
Right.
I like the once again, I like the comic accuracy of a lot of it, or what
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to put on screen. Is it something that's getting me excited? No. Like I've
Mm.
probably watched Endgame and Infinity War and so many others like probably dozens of times.
Right.
Even if it's not a beginning to end watch through, I sometimes just start it up at the best scenes and just watch from there. I haven't watched anything over in this. I want to watch WandaVision again.
Okay.
WandaVision was dope too.
That's worth a
Oh
rewatch.
yeah,
Yeah.
because of Photon, what they did with her, like that was dope.
Mm-hmm.
That warmed my soul when I saw her get those powers and she was busting through that field.
Bless her.
I was like, oh, this is so sick. This is so dope. Um, that there's little glimmers here and there, and of course, Jonathan Majors and Loki at the end. Um, Ant-Man was okay, very mid. I gave it like a 7 to 7.5 out of 10. But
That's not bad.
nah,
That's not
but
bad. That's not
him
bad.
being in it, I guess, and me knowing where they're going or where they're trying to go, it's a plus. It helps. But yeah, definitely
Mm-hmm.
mid, no question.
What did you think of Eternals?
Six,
E-
6 out of 10.
Man, Eternals reminded me of like a DC movie.
It did.
Like I looked at it and I was like, man, this is a DC film, man. What the hell are they
So it kind of
doing?
is to a degree because from what I know, they ripped off of like the New Gods and stuff, the like Dark Side's people or wherever he's from.
Right.
I was never a fan of the comic, and if I were a fan of the
Okay.
comic, that might have helped me like the movie more. But the movie to me, even if I like the books, the movie is meh. Um, I was never a fan of them in the comics because they were so obscure, they were so different. Like they weren't, you didn't see them every day in the books. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't doing any crossovers until recently or the past maybe 10 years. When I grew up, they weren't around that much. Um, so yeah, nah, the Eternals, I wasn't feeling it. I watched it once and never again. Yeah.
Yeah. I went to a screener for that.
Hmm.
I'm going to a screener, or we're going to a screener for
Guardians. I will.
Guardians that I'm really looking forward
So
to.
I will say this in comparison to Guardians for the Eternals, when they announced the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and I have comics of Guardians of the Galaxy, the before this iteration of them, like
Mm-hmm.
what was Charlie, homie from Jupiter, it was homie with the Captain America shield, Advanced Astrovik, like it was a different squad, but I knew the comics.
Mm-hmm.
When they announced the movie, I was like, this is gonna be stupid. Like this is an
Mm.
unknown, you know, unknown book, basically. Not a lot of people know about it. People know about it, and the people that know about it will go see it, but it's not going to get the fans to go to see these movies. And
Mm.
I went to a pre-screening, but they only showed like the first 30 minutes, and I was blown away. I was like,
Yeah.
"Yo, like they did that," and here we are.
That's I mean, that's low key like probably my favorite Marvel franchise.
Hmm.
Like from top to bottom.
Absolutely. I mean, I would say Cap because Cap got, but they tricked you with Cap because it's like Cap, and then you got
Yeah.
the Winter Soldier, and then you got Civil War. That's an Avengers movie. It's an Avengers movie.
True.
So it's like,
Right.
but Cap and that, yeah, very close.
Mm-hmm. All right. So speaking of favorite MCU movies,
Hmm.
franchises, former favorite MCU franchises. It's Black Panther, man.
Not forward.
uh, uh, uh. Coogler, Coogler, Coogler. Now, listeners, Brian and I, we talk pretty frequently. You know what I'm saying? Just check-ins, that sort of thing. But whenever like we hear some news about an MCU movie, he's probably one of the first people I'm talking to because I trust his opinion. Now, we, you know, first and foremost, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman,
Mhm.
gone way too soon. When they made the announcement that they weren't going to recast T'Challa. I know I said something years ago to you about it. Like, this is some bullshit. This is bogus. And then I put on my hotep cap, my kufi, and really got into it. So I'm still recast T'Challa. I still think that's, that wasn't the way to go if you were showing tribute to a great actor, a great person, or a seemingly great person like Chadwick Boseman. But you were on the other end of this.
Absolutely.
You were on the other end. So I mean, I don't know. Do you want to talk about recast T'Challa, or do you want to just go ahead and my challenge to you is to convince me to go watch Wakanda Forever, because I have yet to see it.
Crazy.
I'm tired of Disney Plus suggesting that I watch it. I get mad, bro. I get mad every time that I cut on Disney Plus to watch Mandalorian, and Disney Plus like, yo, Wakanda Forever over here, it's just chilling, and I'm like, Wakanda whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, now compare that to when Black Panther first came out, because you know this, knowing me, opening weekend of Black Panther, I saw that guy 5 times the weekend. We had friends and family, frat, get movie theaters just for us. I took my mom to go see it. I took a girl that I was dating to go see it. Like, I was in there. By the 3rd, 4th time, I knew it word for word. Complete opposite Wakanda Forever. I only saw the trailer maybe like twice. And that was it. So I'm going to challenge you, Brian.
So I'll just give you my perspective on all of that, whether you agree or will agree.
Yeah, for sure.
When I saw Comic Head, my first comic I received, I looked it up the other day. It was a G.I. Joe. I can't remember the issue, but the G.I. Joe comic. I just remember the G.I. Joe snowmobile on it going downhill, bunch of gunfire, da da da. I was living in Brooklyn. I moved
Okay.
from Brooklyn when I was 9, so I probably got that comic when I was like first grade. So that's probably when I got my first comic. Uh, I say all this to say I've been reading comics for a long time. When
Mm-hmm.
I read them or I've read them, and then I knew movies would come out, I just want to see that expressed on the screen. When I saw the first Black Panther, I did not
Mm-hmm.
think it was that great of a movie.
It wasn't. It wasn't. And I'm gonna let you cook, but this is my stance on it. Black Panther was not a great film. I don't agree with the ideologies of a lot of things that they put
Mhm,
across there. Uh, but but it was the moment.
mhm,
It was like a family reunion.
mhm.
You go to that movie theater. We're in Atlanta.
Yeah, oh
It's a
yeah,
huge
oh yeah.
city, but going
Big black
to
city.
Lenox Mall, I mean, going to Phipps, going to that Phipps theater, I was bumping into people from
Yeah,
college that I hadn't seen forever.
yeah.
I bumped into my mom. She was with her sorority sisters. And I was like, "Hey, I'm supposed to be bringing you here tomorrow, right?" And she was like, "Yeah." Like, that's
Yeah.
why the replay value in the moment of that film was, for me, was that feeling, that vibe. Looking back on it, not a great film.
And I think that's what I looked back on and realized what you felt. Because at first, like I said, I'm just rating it on comic book accuracy, comic book, comic book. So I gave it like a 7, 7.5. I was like, it was. I think the first
That's
time I
fair.
saw it, I fell asleep. Um,
Mm,
and then
mm,
after going back and watching the retrospect, one, not only do I appreciate it more as a movie, I get what it did like for the culture in so many ways. You know what I'm saying? And what you're talking about, how like it was like just bringing everybody together. Like I saw that and then I appreciated it more. Um,
mm-hmm.
so I get that side of it. when it comes to Black Panther 2, I give that movie about an 8, maybe an 8.5. But
Hmm.
once again, a lot of this is solely on comic book accuracy. Um,
Mm.
they did the excuse me, but they did the fuck out of Namor.
Nah, go for it.
They did because when they first cast homie, or he was rumored to,
Mm-hmm.
or when they first announced that he was going to be on the cast, I looked at him. I said, "Yo," I said, "He's Namor," and just the
Mm.
what he looked like in the face. I was like, I could see him being Namor. I'm pretty sure he's going to be Namor.
Mm-hmm.
He was. And just how they did it, from the way he moves, like everything about Namor for the most part was dope.
He
He
had it.
had it. Aside from people
Yeah.
like, oh well, Namor's not Latino, he's Atlantean. Y'all don't you
That's goofy.
Atlantis ain't real,
That's
or we don't know where it
right.
was or what. So shut
Right.
up, goofy. Right. Um,
Right.
so I think that's the only like thing people could look at crazy, but then that's not a thing because Atlantis is not a real place. Um, I liked it, man. I liked it. I get the recast T'Challa, but I think in their mind, they're trying to do what's right in respects to him and his family. I also read something recently that said, they'll do it in the future, blah, 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 blah. And then they also
Mm-hmm.
kind of paid homage to him as well without giving it away in case you end up watching it. So I
I won't watch it. I won't watch it, man.
it was good.
What it's still Wakanda. It's still Wakanda.
It
Whatever.
was dope. It was
Wakanda.
dope. It was
Whatever.
cool. It was dope. I think they did a great job with the Atlanteans, how they did that
Mm-hmm.
or made that make sense. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, I l- Namor was the selling point for
mhm,
me because I love Namor as a
mhm.
character, and like you said, when other people were like, "Ah, how can he be whoop de whoop?" I was like, "Yo, this could work,
Hmm.
and it should work." So they if I were to watch it, it would probably be for him,
Yeah.
but it's still Wakanda whatever for me, man.
Show Auntie, give
I
Auntie her flowers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I heard she killed
She
it.
killed it. She was
Everyone
nominated for best support actress.
everyone told me the great Angela killed it, and respect and love to her. Respect and love to Letitia Wright.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's which brings me to a point that I want to mention. When it came to recast T'Challa, I was brought, or people responded to me saying that, as in like, yo, why can't a woman lead that franchise or something? Some weird. Now I understand misogyny is real. I understand misogynoir is definitely real because I see it on a daily basis being online. But I was like, yo, you listen to the reasons why I wasn't a fan of recast T'Challa. Like, how do you equate the two, or how do you even put that together? Like, I'm not a misogynist because of that.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, it was super
Yeah.
weird. So I don't know.
No,
I don't
people
know.
gonna have their reasons for everything. Excuse me. And if you don't agree with what they're trying to say or call out, then it don't make sense. So it's kind of like people don't
Yeah.
realize everyone's entitled to their own opinions, man. It's like if I want
Facts.
T'Challa recast, then that's what I want, And if I'm cool without it, then I'm cool without it, Like that's what
Facts.
makes us all
Facts.
individuals, That's the one of the shitty things about this world. It's like we're all entitled to our own opinions, but we have our own opinions, then people want to judge you. It's like, come on now,
And social media definitely amplified all of
you
that.
already know. So
Speaking of misogyny, this this is me fresh off of saying I'm not a
no,
misogynist. However, I would be remiss to not bring up another topic that both of us have a good connection on: strip clubs in
yo,
Atlanta.
I almost jokingly said strip clubs, but I was like, maybe it's not the type of place you said.
Hey, hey, man, we're gonna keep it real on the Life and Times podcast. We're gonna keep it real. So, strip clubs, Sims. Now, Atlanta's always been known, or I would say early mid 90s grew into prominence of, hey, that's a strip club capital of the world, right? Am I tripping when I say that Magic City is overrated?
Oh no, absolutely overrated. I've gone
Okay.
3 times and I don't think I've ever enjoyed myself. And we should enjoy ourselves in strip clubs. But yeah, nah.
Okay. Because I've talked to OGs. And they've told me Magic City used to be it.
Yeah.
I don't know when was the point that Magic City like lost its way.
I can see it. I can see when I probably think when. So I think the very first strip club I ever went to was the Gentleman's Club back in the day. Yeah, I was invited there by someone I used to date, and we went there, and it was the first one I've been to, so I was like blown away. But then after that, we roamed. We had Mardi Gras. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Follies.
Shout out Mardi
Shout
Gras.
out Mardi Gras.
Rest in power.
Rest in power. Follies too. We miss you.
Follies.
Follies. If I would keep it a buck, Follies is probably where I had like the best times at. Just going there on some casual and just chill, and then you go in there on some turn up and have a great time. You know.
That was your strip club.
That was yeah. I was
because just bringing the listeners in, like Sundays was my day off because the restaurant that I ran for years, we were closed on Sundays, so Sundays was my day to, hey, I'm getting it in, and part of my agenda was going to see that man right there. And he was the best Sunday bartender ever because he would get us ready to rock and roll. And I always remember Follies was one of those, hey, what are we doing next? Is it Follies? My spot was the Pony.
Yes.
I was a Pink Pony philanthropist because, running a successful restaurant, successful operation brings you many bonuses and all that kind of expendable money. So, hey, Pink Pony for me.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Pink Pony for me was it.
no, yeah, Pony was always a good time, but it's like I think going back to your question, it's like Magic, it just I think with the whole inception of like Magic City Mondays, it got stupid, and it just invited the bullshit, for lack of a better term. Like, the first time I went to Magic, here's how it went. Me and the fellas, we were all out every Monday because industry, so we off Sundays, Mondays, or Mondays, Tuesdays.
Right.
So every Monday we would all like get into an activity, whether it was football, basketball, whether it was like zip line. We'd always find something to go to. This one, our brother Mike. Mike versus Alex.
Shout out to Mike. Shout out to that
Alex.
good brother. Hopefully I have him on here pretty soon.
Talk to him. He used to work at a restaurant called Straits. Ludacris used to own it or partially.
Okay.
And the GM there, his name is Solo. Solo, right now he works for 97.5. Anyway, Solo would always have an activity for us to do Monday. So we went and had activity. Went to the all-you-can-eat crab leg spot. And he was like, all right, next we going to Magic City. All right, we going to Magic City. So we all in different cars anyway, because we all met up at the first place. We all pull up to Magic City individually. $40 each to park. Already down.
Already down.
We go inside. I think it was like $30 each to get in. We $70 down already. We get inside. It's Magic City Monday, so you got the TIs, you got the Jeezys there.
Dope boys are in the building.
All in VIP. We're normal, everyday, working class people posted up by the bar, whatever. And every time you see someone that you might want to dance from, or you might, want whatever, they walking by, and you're like, hey, let me come see me when you get a minute. Yeah, give me a minute. I'm going to VIP. I'll be back. Never see him again.
She occupied.
And I get it. I get
hey, it is what it is. Yeah.
They in the building. I'm not them, so I get it.
Facts.
But I think the 2, 3 times I went to Magic City, it was on a Monday. It was the same thing. Maybe if I were to try it on a different day of the week, but those Mondays were enough for me to be like, I'm good. I don't need the wings. Never
Mhm.
had them. So it's if I try them one
Wings
day,
are solid.
yeah, I believe it. People rave about them, so I'm assuming they're pretty decent. But that was
Hmm.
my experience with Magic City. So it was just like I never, yeah, oh, she can hang from the ceiling. Whoop de doo. I wish I could get a dance. It's like so that's how I feel about Magic City. It's highly overrated to me.
I I I mean I definitely agree with you. When like Magic City
Hmm.
Mondays definitely blew that thing up for sure. Um when it came to Magic City, man, it just seemed it was like two different hustles.
Yeah.
Comparing comparing talent at other strip clubs compared to Magic City. Because Magic City always had that reputation, that global reputation of being the strip club. You know what I'm saying? So it just seemed like the girls in there, I mean, God bless them, man. They're making money, they're killing it. But me and the working class, we had more fun at other places. So,
Yeah. A little more,
you
more
know,
bang for your buck.
exactly,
So it's like that's
exactly.
why places like Follies or Pony, you know what I'm saying, or Oasis even, like that's why
Right,
they
right,
brought
right,
her.
right.
And don't get me wrong, someone may look at this and say, "Well, get your coins up," and I'm like, I hear you, but I'm good, you know.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Nah, but I mean, there were. This is a funny. I'll loop it back into working in the industry. I used to bring my management team to your
Hmm.
restaurant prior to going to the strip club. So they're having margaritas and beers and kicking it. We're kicking it, and it's like, all right, on to the next spot. Cool. Go to the Pink Pony. Man, after the first time we showed up as a management team there and just kicked it hard to the point where I don't want to put his business out, but one of my managers uh just started making out with another one of the managers who was an alleged lesbian. Yeah, yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, man, like we had a whole table section and it was girls all just, kicking it. We were kicking it. We were having fun.
As you
And
should.
of course, I had to open that
Uh,
Monday. I mean, I always made sure I did that because I was like, the last thing I wanted was one of my assistants to
yeah,
be drunk and oversleep, and
it'd be
then
my fault.
people started asking
Hmm.
questions. But one thing in particular, the owners of that restaurant, they always used to give me props like, man, you have a really tight team. Like everybody rocks with each other. And I'm like, little do you know, once a month,
Little do you know, we have a
little do you
company
know,
party.
once a month, we're getting hammered, smash hammered drunk, and going to a pink pony. And that's how we bond. That's how we have synergy. We all saw the same set of titties. Synergy. We're on the same page, y'all. So that was always fun, man. That was always fun. And lastly, on the pink pony, shout out to the legend, Jada.
Cheers.
The reason why I have a beard, Jada,
Probably the reason why I had one before I just brought it down.
dog. I mean, I'm not gonna put her business. She's retired now, right?
Just had a
Like,
kid or something, I think. Yeah.
good for her, man. Blessings. But yeah, one night I was in there because we would be in there often. So it was like we were recognizable for the most part. And one night she jumped on me, grabbed my beard, and was like, I love a man with a beard. Never lose this beard. And through her sorcery, through
Witchcraft.
through her dark magic, through her dark magic that she's fire at. Hint, hint. Um, yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm always gonna have a beard. I don't care. My boss at the restaurant was like, "Yo, why are you growing a
Yeah,
beard?
don't worry
You
about
always
it.
have a goatee." I'm like, "Nah, man, I got a beard, man. It's beard gang." So that was that. But shout out to her. Shout out to the lovely Jada, because you're a legend in our book.
Absolutely.
All right, before we get out of here, man, we got two things, man. Number one, give me a question for next week's guest, and they have to answer it. So I don't care how shout out it is. I don't care how inappropriate it is. I'm not going to tell you who's the next guest, but you have to give me a question.
Mine isn't too crazy. Uh, Mine
Mm-mm,
is
mm-mm, mm-mm,
too
mm-mm.
crazy.
We podding.
We potting, but I've been sipping. I might go off the rails. I gotta keep. I gotta.
This is the point of life and times. We're going off the rails. It's your off day. You work hard in hospitality.
Okay. If I ask you this,
Get it
song,
off.
'cause, hey, next guest. Question is, I had something real chill and like PG. You don't want that?
Nah. Fuck all that.
All right. Mine is, what's the freakiest scenario and situation you've ever found yourself in, and how'd you find your way out? How'd you navigate through?
See,
Mine was real simple. It was gonna
that's
be like, if you lost something ever. I had help with it too. My lady helped me with it, and you don't even want
nope,
that.
nope, nope. I mean, the next guest is probably gonna be aggravated that I just pressed you into this question, but I'm gonna ask it. So it is what it is.
Oh man.
All right, man. And then lastly, we have a Life and Times playlist. I want two songs that I want you to put the people on. I want you to put me on, man. It better not be any Drake, because we all know Drake. I want two songs.
It's not Drake. One you'll appreciate, whether it sounds boring or corny or not.
Yeah.
And well, I'm saying you'll appreciate. But one, the first one is Stevie. But
Okay.
I would say As by Stevie, because that's like
Okay. That's
that's
classic.
classic. I listen to a lot of older stuff. Like even now, like I get my car or whatever car I'm driving, because my car is incapacitated right now. But whatever car I'm driving, if I get in, I'll turn the radio and see what's popping, see what's hot. But I'm just getting old. A lot of stuff I hear, I'm just like, I listen to it, for bops, but for the most part, and maybe I need to stay away from the radio, stay away from the mainstream, because I used to be big on underground, non-mainstream stuff. That's what I used to
Mm-hmm.
always move towards. But a lot of old school Stevie, and then what I was gonna say next is Prince. Prince's catalog is like right now,
Legend.
yeah, he a legend. The Purple Rain album, the anniversary of his death just passed, so I've been big on that lately. So yeah, like old stuff. When it comes to hip hop, I got my catalog on phone, but nobody want to hear all the New York shit I listen to, the Jays, the Mobb Deep. That's just typical.
Hey, man.
Like,
Like we got New York
yeah,
listeners.
but
We got
people
New
look at me
York
crazy because I'm
listeners.
still stuck in like the '90s and early 2000s. But I'm like, yo, that's what gives me joy. If it is, that's what it is. It
No
is what it
doubt.
is. So
All right. So your first song is Stevie Wonder, Ass,
yeah,
and the second song is
Purple Rain by Prince. I just keep it that.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, you can't go
nah,
wrong there.
can't go wrong with those two.
All right, my two songs. Two songs. Number one, your old Droog, Pronouns. I just heard it this morning, and it's I just like the hook. He said, "It doesn't matter your pronoun. You're not him."
Mm.
Like that's nasty to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Who is
that's
it? Who is that?
nasty. I'll send it to you.
Okay, bet.
His name is Your Old Droog. He just had a project from with Madlib,
Okay, okay.
or he's working on it. He just released a single. Another one, another single that I'll put to the playlist is gonna be Thundercat.
Hmm.
He just put out something. He just put out something with uh Tame of Impala.
Hmm.
I hope I'm saying it
I know
right.
you're talking about though.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they just put out a song, And I want to say, hold on, let me double check, make sure I'm saying the song. I want to say it's called No More Lies. Yeah, that's it. No More Lies by Thundercat. Dope ass track, good vibe, awesome song. But yeah, check it out. I'll send it to you so you can check it out. All right, man. It's been a great episode, man. I appreciate you spending your part of your off day with me.
Thank you for having me.
And the listeners. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I'm probably still never gonna watch Wakanda whatever, but
Yeah, check it out, man. For Namor.
yeah, true. Very true.
Talokan or whatever they were doing. I can't.
See, I don't even, that doesn't even register with me.
Exactly.
Because I have not watched that shit. I don't know. Yo, man, you got any shout outs to the people you want to say what's up to?
Shout out
or
to all my people, friends, family, my daughter, my girlfriend, the squad, the toxic entanglers. Even though don't ask, don't even ask why. But I'm gonna shout them out anyway. My squad and my people, my fam, and everybody.
Okay.
And you for having me on this lovely podcast today.
No doubt, man. You're a good brother, and you're one of. I mean, when I graduated and moved to Atlanta, you were one of the first bartenders I interacted with, and I always rocked with you.
Word.
So, respect to you, man, and I really do appreciate you jumping on. Before we get out of here, I have a petty toxic end of me that I was thinking. Okay, social media. You follow your exes on social media?
Yeah.
Do you ever laugh at the guys that they're dating?
Yeah, no, but I'm able to laugh outside of. So you got to think, my two exes I have basically kids with, so I have.
This is true.
So I don't want. I put it to you like this: one yes, one no.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
One yes.
Because I was just thinking that, like, I was in traffic and exes follow me, and I follow my exes, and I saw a picture of the significant other, and I just started laughing, and I was just like, "Yikes!"
I put it to you like this: neither one of them post who they're dating. Like
I know. Yeah. She stays out of that. Yeah.
Like since we were together, didn't do that. But like, one is engaged, one is single, as far as I know. But neither one like really posts like who their significant others and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like I said, I can laugh on the side. I ain't gotta
Because I was gonna take it to the next level and be like, you ever see their kid and start laughing?
Now on a deeper note, yes, there's been like other girls that I've talked to that I've seen. I'm like, oh, but yeah, nah,
right,
yeah, absolutely.
Word.
You ain't shit, but you're right.
Never will be, but more often than not, I'm right when I say what I'm saying. All right, folks. Thank you again, Brian, man, for joining us. Listeners, thank you for listening. If you're into pro wrestling, those little of you that are weirdos like me, #AllMarksPod. We're All Marks Anyways podcast. We drop every Thursday on Spotify. If you're into college football, I got a podcast coming called Dogs versus All Y'all. Follow us online at SuplexDinnerClub. That will link you to those podcasts, and I hope you all enjoy the vibe. So before we go, I want you to comment down below. Oh, shout out to the Knicks.
50 years.
We got
50. That's how long it's been. This year's 50.
It's been 50 years.
This year's 50. So I'm feeling a little special. Not change
I'm feeling
a little special.
I'm pulling for y'all.
Yes.
I'm pulling for y'all. I don't want to. I was hoping y'all face the Hawks so we can continue that rivalry, but I'm pulling for y'all.
I'm not trying to sound crazy or nothing. I know we have a long way to go if we were to get there, but I feel like the significance of the 50-year anniversary on top of what I'm seeing, there's a lot of injuries that are on the teams that are in our way. I feel like we could bottle up some magic.
The
Yeah.
pathway is a lot more clear.
Yo, I feel like we could bottle up some magic and make a push. And if we were to do it, the time is now. So that's all I got.
You know, normally I'm quick to troll
Uh-huh.
New York Knicks and New York Yankees fans, but I'm pulling for
You
y'all.
can't troll
I'm
27
not even gonna lie.
championships. You can't. I'm just saying. You can't.
Man, y'all making up shit like Alabama fans.
Can't troll 27 championships. Most out of any
That's a
professional
fact. That's a
sports team.
fact.
I'm just saying.
I can't knock that, man. Yo, shout out to the listeners. Thank y'all for listening. Down below, I want you to let us know if you're working at a restaurant, what position are you working? What are you doing at the restaurant? And do you like it? That's what I want. That's what I want.
If you don't like it, why?
Facts.
If you don't like it, tell us why. Because we're curious.
And if you're not working in a restaurant, it's all good because you're a part of Life and Times. And I'm Adrian again, and this is Brian, and we're signing out. Peace out.